my pictures. Today, I've been waiting for today for a long time actually. This is one that I've been waiting to speak about, and waiting. And today, the time has finally arrived. What I'm going to be doing today is talking about the plans that we've got in the church for an amazing new, I call it a course, but it's more of a journey than a course. It's about growing in God. And I'm going to be talking about that this morning, and just about our vision for that. We've got a new Growing in God course, although, like I said, I'm still trying to think of a better word for it. Journey might be better. New Growing in God journey that we just want to encourage everybody in the church to come on. And this morning we're going to be talking about what it is, how it works, and how to become part of it. And incredibly excited about this. So I'm going to be explaining about that this morning. And at the end of the morning, at the end of today, I'm hoping that you might want to sign up, at least that you're interested in it. I have got... Now, me and paper don't go well together, especially if I'm on a microphone. There we go. I have got a leaflet about it, which I will give out a little bit later, but I didn't want you to get all about it before I'd actually spoken about it. So we've got a leaflet, Growing in God, and I'll be going through this leaflet and giving it out. And on the inside, it's got a Growing in God reply form. I would be interested in being part. You're not committing yourself, but you're saying, I would be interested. So I'm going to talk all about it this morning. So, buckle your seatbelts, because it's good. I want to start, where am I going to start today? We'll start in the right place. I want to start with some great scriptures, just to encourage us to want to grow in God. So, I put Jeremiah 29, I've been putting that up quite a lot. Again, originally spoken to God's people Israel, but now through Jesus Christ we are God's people. So this is spoken to us. And this is what God says. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Got good plans for us. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. So often we actually say, oh well, the Lord's going to send me here, the Lord's going to send me here, or do this or do that. I think it's a more general plan for you. I believe what he's saying, of course he has got specific plans for us too, but he's got plans to prosper us, to bless us right where we are. He's got plans to fill us full of him and give us life to the full right where we are. We're not always looking for that day when we're going to be called to this country and we're going to save the whole country. It's about now. It's about right where we are, right in the town we're in, right in the island that we're in. I know the plans I've got for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you right here, not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope where you are right now. Because if you haven't got a hope where you are now, you're not going to have hope wherever you're sent. Plans to give you a hope and plans to give you a future. That's God's word to us. And this is why we want to look at this Growing in God course, because he has got plans to give us hope and a future. And that is fantastic. The next one I want to look at is one of my favourites, John 10:10. Did you know? John 10:10. That's John 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 life. Jesus says, the thief comes to steal and kill and destroy. But Jesus says, I have come that they, or you, might have life and have it to the full. A full life in him. That's what he wants for us. I call it, because it's John 10:10, I call it the John 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 life. And did you know tomorrow is the 10th of the 10th? Yep. So I'm declaring it because it's natural. They have National Poetry Day, National this day, National that day, National the other. I'm declaring tomorrow National 10 out of 10 Day. National Life in all its full day. There, I've declared it. It's now official. That's tomorrow. And it's a reminder, when you write the date tomorrow, 10th of the 10th, remember that God wants you to have a 10 out of 10 life. life in all its fullness. And he doesn't want us to miss out on anything that he's got for us. And again, that's what this course is all about. This course, Growing in God, or this journey, is all about getting and knowing and establishing that 10 out of 10 life that he wants us to have. I used to think it was a case of becoming a Christian, meeting with Jesus, and then just telling other people, and they met with Jesus, and they told other people, and they met with Jesus, and so it continues. I now realise that there was a missing link. Sounds a bit Darwinian, but there was a missing link. And that missing link was, you come to know Jesus, then, this is the missing link, you get set free, you grow in God, you get established in him, you find out what it's all about, and then you're able to tell others, because the good news is coming out your eyes. You can't but stop it. And that's where I've got to, and it took me actually longer than it should have to get there. And this is why, as a church, again, growing in God, we're trying to get there we're trying to get us all there. Now, I believe, and this is the analogy that we've been running with when we've been talking about it at Leaders, I believe that becoming a Christian is very much, and here's our first picture, like arriving in an airport. I think probably most of us have been on a plane. It's very dark in here. Can we have lights? Oh, there we are at the airport. But I believe that when you become a Christian, it's like getting off an aeroplane. You've arrived. You've arrived in a new kingdom with much to discover. And you arrive in the arrivals. Now, airport arrivals are really, really interesting places. I expect most of us here have been to an airport. Been to an airport? Anyone been to an airport? They're great. I love getting off the plane. You walk off the plane and you're in a new place and everything's new. And actually, you walk into the airport and arrivals is like really interesting. You can go to the shops there and you can just look around and there's got all sorts of leaflets about what's in the country and you just get a feel for the place even when you're in arrivals. And when we went last year up to Edinburgh, that's our foreign country that we went to, Scotland. When we got off, we spent a long time in arrivals. We spent a long time at the airports. We didn't rush away because it was such fun. Those letters there at Edinburgh, we got photographed in front of them. That's our band picture, and we played in them for ages. They're like life-size Edinburgh. We could have stayed there all day. We virtually did. And we wanted to come back and play again, but we had the whole of Scotland to discover. And it was great fun. So actually, we could have spent virtually our whole holiday in arrivals. It was such a great place. There were so many leaflets to read about all the things we could do. And the coffee was great, and the food looked pretty good as well. It's Wetherspoons, but it looked okay. Gave it a miss in the end and went and found somewhere else. But anyway, I digress. We're just spending good quality time in arrivals. But the thing is, we had only just arrived, and there was a whole country to explore. And the mistake we could have made was to stay at the airport. That's the mistake we could have made. We could have stayed in the airport and never discovered the country. I could have read about the dangers of climbing Ben Nevis and never actually experienced them firsthand. Even though I bought a compass and various other mountain climbing things, and then I left them at home anyway. So I'd say to the Nevis climbing people, I said, can I still go up? And they said, yes. I said, what happens when it gets foggy and there's a ridge and there's a 1,000-foot fall either side? They said, just don't move until somebody with a compass comes. I said, all right, good advice. But anyway, I could have read about that and the dangers. I could have experienced those dangers for myself and the thrill and the exhilaration of being at the highest point in the UK. I experienced that, didn't we, Jamie? We experienced that while the girls played about in a cable car lower down. But we experienced that, and that was like life to the full. We were experiencing being part of that country. And the analogy is that when we become a Christian, we have arrived, but yet we haven't arrived. We've arrived at the arrivals, but that isn't the end. That is just the beginning. And it's so easy to think, I've arrived, I'm here. But there is so much to discover. So much to discover in God's kingdom. We talked here about life to the full. Life to the full. There's so much to discover about what life to the full actually means. I'm not going to try and describe that this morning. But all I will say is it's multi-dimensional, multifaceted. Life to the full. There's a lot of good stuff to it. And knowing the good plans God's got for us, knowing what to expect as a Christian, knowing what to experience as a Christian, going there and going after it, going after all God's got for us, fulfilling all of our potential in Him. That's what it's about. And as a church, we feel that that's probably the side that we've been least effective in helping people to do. And we want to right that wrong, so to speak. And to do that, we have got this amazing Growing in God course. And I just want to tell you a little bit about that. Who's good at giving out? Giving out. Well, Paul, as a respected leader, I'll let you give those out. And actually, if you... Paul, could I have another
Ruben would
part?
like to help you.
Well, I'll give Ruben some to give out as well. Paul can give him a few to give out. Could you give a few out as well? Like I say, I didn't want to give them out at the start because I thought it might be a spoiler. Can I have one as well? I'd like to sign up for this. Thank you.
There's plenty of.
So when you get them, have a look through, and I'll just go through this very quickly this morning. You can take them away and have a bit more of a look. I've gone through the why. This is why we want to do it. This is why we want to look at a Growing in God course or Growing in God journey. And now we're going to talk about the nuts and bolts of actually what it involves. Effectively what this is over the period of between now and July, it's a series of 8 key talks. Thank you very much. 8 key talks about Growing in God. And what that is equivalent to, is equivalent to 8 tours, 8 coach tours, where we go away from arrivals and we go to these places and we discover them. But it's not just a key talk. The key talk will take place here on a Wednesday night. But then, the 3 weeks after that, the people who are involved in this process, this journey, will assign you to a small group. And in that small group, you really chew over these things and get to work out what these things are about. And that's the key thing there. So, for example, the first one, where am I on the scale? The key talk there is on Wednesday, 2nd of November. So you've got a month to think about this and sign up, and we'll work out what groups people are in. So I talk about working out where we're at the moment, and it's an honest look about where we are as Christians, and it will be different for everybody. And then the week after, we've called them growth groups because they're groups where growth will occur. The growth groups will start the week after that. And the good thing about the growth groups is that, first of all, they can be anywhere. They don't have to be here on a Wednesday night. So the growth groups could occur anywhere on the Isle of Wight where a group wants to meet. And they don't have to be in the evening. They could be They could be on a Wednesday evening, or they could be on a Monday morning, 9 o'clock, or they could be on a lunchtime. They could be a time that suits that group. So, actually having midweek church immediately counts a lot of people out. But having growth groups, which are smaller groups, closed groups are not anybody who just turns up, but closed groups who are committed to meeting with each other, those groups can meet at a time that suits them. We're hoping that that will enable a lot more people to actually come along and be part of this. So on the sign-up sheet, really what we're asking you to do is to write down the days and times you would be available in the week. Or you can say, if it's easy to write when you're not available, then that's fine too. The days where you would or you wouldn't. And then below there, any other information, e.g. any particular people you'd like to do the group with. For example, I would like to do the group with my wife, or I would not like to do the group with my husband, or whatever. Whatever things in there that will help us to work out good groups. We would obviously liaise with everybody who signed up to it to let them know what group they're in and see if they're happy with it, and make it as comfortable, make the whole process as comfortable as possible for the people involved. But my hope is that as many of us sign up as possible, because what we're doing as a church, we've got a three-dimensional vision, and it's to grow in God, to grow in number, and to grow into the community. We've done our growing into the community, or we're doing it, but the Hub Fest was a real celebration of that. We're praying continually that we're growing in numbers as we invite people into the aircraft arrivals lounge to become a Christian, but then growing in God as well. Once we're there, Jesus says, make disciples, not Christians, make followers of me. So, when we become a Christian, it is then about how we're going to grow into this. How are we going to fulfill all our potential as Christians. All the potential that God has got for us. So, that is it really. So that's an outline of the why we want to do this course. Or, I'm not happy with the word course. You've probably picked that up.
Program.
Program is good. Or journey. I'm going towards journey here. But hopefully you know why we want to do it. And now you know what it's about. And like I say, we're not starting for another few weeks, so you've got a chance to talk to me about it as well. Just in case you think, oh, Tony's an idiot, he doesn't know what he's talking about, you wouldn't think that, I hope. But this isn't just my idea. We've been thinking about this at leadership level and pastoral level for a long time. And just to prove that, I have a star witness to this. The amazing, fun-filled, phone-playing Rick Scott. Come on down. A little applause for Rick.
Get and go.
Rick's just going to give us his thoughts on this.
Right, I did have something written out, but that's at home, so I'm going to have to blag it, I'm afraid.
Blag.
You've got Eli and no glasses anyway, so...
Sorry?
You've got Eli and no glasses.
That's
anyway.
true.
Blag away, Rick.
We all need to grow. We all want to grow, and that's in every aspect of life, whether that's at work, in stature, status, whatever. And growing in God is the ultimate growth, because it affects every other aspect of your life. I'm looking forward to being part of a growth group, and no matter how far I think I've grown, I'm looking forward to growing further and more, and gorging myself on the journey. So anybody who would like to join me in that journey, sign up to one of those bits of paper. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rick. In your own wonderful way, you have convinced me to be part of this. He's right, we're all on a journey, we're all on a growth journey. None of us have arrived. I think I've grown, and then I just realised there's more growing to do. And that's a great realisation, actually, to realise that there's more, that there's always more in God. There's always more of Him, more of His growth to experience in our lives. So that's it. I'm going to